Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Thank y'all once again for stopping by the live stream. I really appreciate it. Thank y'all so much for all your birthday wishes and super chats and all that, man. I really appreciate it, man. Truly grateful. Shout out to the NTZ crew. That's Jacob Tanjay. Greetings, brother. All my fourth quarter members. What's up, Jeff Retada? When you coming back again? Paragraphics. What's up, Sheldon? You getting close. I make it look easy. Roger, what's up, Ray? I saw Richie Rich on here. Kane went in on y'all the other day. Y'all couldn't handle it. I wish more Filipinos would speak like that instead of Filipinos love baby Jews and all that other bull crap that ain't helping nobody. Would you date a 65-year-old man, the age gap and all that? What's up, I love LaChina? Oh, there's Richie Rich. Andrew, what's up? He says, been a minute, but good day, everybody. All my old heads, I saw the expect crap on here. What's up? Any new viewers and subscribers? Look like this is a new guy. He said Snipes and the Serpent. He said, any recommendations on where to stay in Cebu? I would go to IT Park if you're actually in Cebu City. But you know when you fly into Cebu, you're going to be in Mactan or Lapu-Lapu. You could just slide on over to Mactan Newtown. You can't go wrong either way. And they both got good condominiums, good deals. What's going on? Well, welcome all the new people. And then everybody catching this on replay. When I got up this morning, the peso was 61.78. That's crazy, right? Has it gone up or has it gone back down? When I made the video, when I uploaded that video today, it was 61.78. That's the highest I've ever seen it. We're getting ready to hit 62 because Iran said we're not even talking to the Trump administration anymore. We can't trust them. So that means it's going to go on but that Exxon executive, he put the hammer down. He said we're getting ready to see an oil shock like we never seen before this month if they don't stop. Our reserves have hit that point, guys. What's up? What's up, Rashad? I see you, Kamal. But yeah, we always have a topic. The topic is 5 essential things for a better life abroad. What I talked about in my video, but I just named it 5 things successful expats have that you don't have, and y'all don't have them. These things are so low cost and affordable, practically nothing really. There's no excuse why you shouldn't have it. But we don't do it. We try to go it alone, flying by the seat of our pants. All expats aren't in the same basket, guys. But before we talk about that, we're going to talk a little bit about the video I made the other day about, being in a relationship over here is almost like being in a cult. Feels like being in a cult. And of course, you get a lot of pushback on that. A lot of the MAGA people, even though I didn't say anything bad about Trump or MAGA, I just said, look at MAGA. I was giving my, just humble opinion. It's like, look at MAGA. They don't even know they're in a cult, right? That's one of the signs that you're in a cult. But that's all they saw. They made my point for me. Here they come. Because I said they'll argue with you that it's not a cult. But Trump can do no wrong. Say something against Trump and they coming for you. The first thing they started saying was, oh, what about Obama? What about Biden? Guys, those men did not have the record that Trump has. Okay? 34 felon. He's a convicted felon that was elected to the presidency because he's the leader of a cult. He's a person or thing that is popular or fashionable among a particular group or section of society. All you got to do, if you want to know whether or not MAGA is a cult and any of the other cults I was talking about or you may know about, just look it up. Look at the characteristics of a cult. Look at the tendencies of cult members. And you'll see. Do y'all remember Jim Jones? Remember all of his followers gave away everything, sold everything, and followed him to Ghana or Guyana, whichever one it was, and committed a mass suicide. But we're doing the same thing with these women over here. We're doing the same thing to these women over here. We're giving them everything and then following them over here and committing mass financial suicide. He says, I've been with you since 2022. Oh, okay, yeah, but I think it's the first time that I can remember that seeing your comment. But yeah, this something's going on, ladies and gentlemen. Men just aren't that stupid. You can say they are, but that's just a cop-out. To say men are stupid and ignorant, to come over here and do the crazy stuff that we do, give away everything to women we don't know, because you're in a cult. You're in the cult before you ever get over here. It started during COVID. You can't name me 5 vloggers in Brazil. Because the Philippines is not the same as these other destinations. Thailand. You can't even name me 5 in Thailand. Vietnam. Any of these other places. But yet, you got hundreds of vloggers over here. With hundreds of followers. Say something about the Filipino P and they coming for you. Remember I made that short not long ago? I was talking about how popular pro-life travel had become. I never said anything bad about P. I just said the 6 months leading up into his arrest, he had become bigger than the Filipino P. I mean, as far as views and all of that. Oh, man, that short has 161 comments now, and they're all bashing me because I'm saying they're taking up for P. She can't do anything wrong. We're in a cult over here. I'm not. I've been debriefed. I'm trying to get y'all out of there. But remember, one sign that you're in a cult is you don't even know you're in a cult. You're in denial. I'm going to tell y'all something that I've never told anybody. And I hope Greg Williams is watching this. I'm talking about the Greg Williams who lives here in San Carlos City. He's been here, I think, July or before years for him. But I knew him. He was following me before the Philippines opened up. He told me something. We were chatting back and forth on a Facebook Messenger. And he said he was watching a video of mine, and his daughter came in the room and said, yeah, y'all in a cult. See, we laughed it off. Okay? But they know. They can see what we can't see. His daughter said that to him over 4 years ago. About 5 years ago, she said that. He was watching a video, man, when she walked in and said, y'all in a cult over there. What's up, Sam? You still in Hong Kong? Oh, you just got back from Hong Kong. Oh, okay. He said, meet up with my daughter from San Jose. Yeah. Oh, she's over here. He said, yeah, I'm sick of Angeles City boys complaining about the women. They're in the worst possible place to meet decent Filipinos. Man, say that again. Say this again. But yeah, see, it's. I wrote down here when it reaches the point of obsession. But we're beyond obsession. This is Filipino worshiping. We're worshiping these women over here, and you can be in denial you won't. Wow, he said 6191. Oh, it could happen anywhere. Not like it's happening over here. It's beyond. These dogs, man, they're fighting because Shirley is in heat, man. I'll be glad when all her eggs are gone. But the same reason people join a cult is the same reason we come over here. Insecurities, excuse me, and loneliness and isolation. Yeah. But yeah, people got hot about that. We want to talk about stuff that's going to make you think, man. You know, we want to make people talk to each other. You know, it's more than what we're talking about over here. You know, the same topics over and over and over. But let's just go down this list real quick and then we'll give it to me. We'll get to what we're talking about today. The signs of a cult. And tell me I'm lying. They all have the big idea. Make America great again. It's their big idea. See? And for us over here, you know, because the big idea is a solution. For us, it's a solution to our loneliness and desperation and isolation, renewing our hope and optimism for men lost in despair. That's the big idea. Every cult has one. Then it goes into the new life. You know, Mega says, we're going to get rid of all the immigrants. Now, that's the next one. That's love bombing. The new life is, we're going to make America great again. We're going to turn the clock back to the 1950s. We're going to start it all over. But for us, you know, because remember, Mega, like any other cult, they see themselves as victims. These white guys, we're being discriminated against. We're being ignored. Okay, so they come into this cult. Trump makes all these promises. Love bombing, like they do us over here. All these promises. Yeah, we're going to get rid of immigrants, all the black and brown people. We're going to get rid of all of your competition. We're going to put you back on top. And you've never not been on top. But it's a cult, remember? We're out of touch with reality. Over here, it's love bombing. All that affection and the sense of belonging. But then it's got rites of passage. Like any other cult over here. The secret language and the red MAGA hats. But what they're really doing is they're isolating you, separating you from your support. They want you to forget about your past life. The allegiance to your girlfriend over here. See, this is what I was talking about when I'm talking about later. We think when we come over here, all we need is that woman. Only to find out she ends up being the problem. We think she's the answer, but she ends up being the problem. But that's what they do. They isolate you over here. They make you dependent on her. That's like any other cult. But it's a us versus them mentality. See, I didn't even say this on the video the other day. I forgot to say this. Others don't understand. They're jealous. They hate us. But when I brought up MAGA, they didn't even listen to the rest of the video. I didn't even say anything about Trump. And they came for me. Oh, look at Obama. Good and damn well, if Obama would have had the same record running for president that Trump had, you know, good and damn well he wouldn't have seen the light of day in that office. Convicted felon. I'll grab him by the pussy. A self-professed sexual abuser. He's being sued for rape by a woman who was 13 at the time. The woman who sued him for sexual abuse and won in the civil law, this is all before he was elected, was awarded $38 million. Now he's going after her, prosecuting her. It's a cult to put him in office. Despite all the evidence put forward, like I said, they still going to follow him. He can't do no wrong. He's a lead. He's a cult leader. Take it or leave it. Hey, he said, Brother Cisco's monetized. All right. Now you got to get your views up, man. Congratulations. Yeah, the Kool-Aid. Now the poison. It's what we're drinking, the poison. You know, damn Kool-Aid. He said, what's up, Cal? Good morning, everybody. Hope all is well. I just got you in the background while I'm doing electrical work. Hey, man, I hope everything is going about as well as it could be. You know, Ryan lost his son a couple of months ago. You're a strong man. He said, yep, that's where the phrase drinking the Kool-Aid came from. Yeah, I just changed it to drinking the poison. Okay, because it's not about his policies, it's about decency. Okay, if you're following him right now, you got to ask yourself, what is it about him now? What is it about him that you like? Because you're in the minority. He's got a 33% approval rate, the lowest in the history of the United States. But people still follow him. You see that guy, Jackson Dart. He don't even know he did anything wrong because he's in a cult. Hell, I could have gave him that information. Dude, don't go up there and present him. This wasn't at the White House. This was a private rally for Donald Trump. Imagine if that woman, what's her name? Jean Curl, that he's going after now, 80-something-year-old that won that sexual abuse civil lawsuit against him. Imagine if that was your grandmother. But he can't do anything wrong because it's a cult. But anyway, let's get off of that, guys. I just wanted y'all to know that I've got an opinion. They made my point for me. They came for me. Well, you don't even know you're in a cult. You're in a cult. You're voting against your best interests. Trump don't give a fuck about you poor-ass fools. But it's an us against them mentality. Remember the white guys, nobody likes us anymore. We're being discriminated against. But anyway, a highly controlled environment over here. Okay? A highly controlled environment. Now, if you don't know, once you get over here, and you start getting involved with women over here, you're going to be in a highly controlled environment. Henpecked is what we call it in America. Pussy whipped. Okay? Control is mistaken for clinginess. Oh, she's clinging. Now she's controlling. Looking over your shoulder. They want all your passwords. That's part of a cult, guys. Okay, then they use shame, guilt, or fear to exert more control, to get you to do what they want to do. Well, I respect your opinion, so respect mine, man, okay? I do have an opinion. What's up, Angelo? I followed since 2020. Thank you, brother. I met you in person. He's really a good guy. Yeah. He says, please don't drink the cool. No, don't drink the poison. We're drinking poison over here, man. These are guys who, when you meet these guys who come over here, see, this is another thing to let you know you're in a cult. When you start acting out of character, they're doing shit, man, that their families are shocked. What are you doing? You know, some guy sent $250,000 over here. Everything he had to a woman who didn't even graduate high school before and wants her to manage the money. That's a cult. Of course she fucked it up. What do you expect? These damn cult leaders and stuff, it's all about money, man. But they start acting out of character, doing stuff that they normally wouldn't do at home. They never have that in their background. Like, wow. He said Chang was absolutely on point, and your content delivery is exactly what it should be. Real, direct, and to the point. You know, see, they can get away with saying things that a foreigner could never get away with, but they won't say it. They're shooting their own self in the foot. He says, imagine how much money these P watchers are giving to the Filipinos. Yeah, being the millions, yeah. And we're not picking, it's not the women, it's not Filipino P, it's not Wit D, it's not Rebeauty, it's not Irish and all them, it's us. We worshiping them. Filipino worship is cultic behavior. Some of these women, man, all of them, we're worshiping these women, not only just the vloggers, but the women on the dating site too. They're all the same. We come over here, we sell everything, like Jim Jones, like his cult members did. What we didn't give to him, we sold the rest of everything, followed him over to start a new life in Ghana, and end up committing a mass suicide, the same as we do over here. But y'all just don't want to hear the truth. I made that one little short about pro-life travel becoming so popular. The short was about pro-life travel. It wasn't about the Filipino P. Don't you know she's even in my comments? She even went in the comments and going back and forth with some guy. And I was like, y'all missing the whole point. I'm not talking about P. She's the queen bee over here. She's at the top. I was giving him credit. I was saying, look, man, this guy's popular. So everybody's trying to shoot him down. You guys are hypocrites because somebody's watching him. He had did something that I thought no man, certainly, or no foreigner would ever be able to do. He became more popular than her. Oh, yeah. A lot of these Filipino vloggers are real celebrities over here. Hey, what's up? But we just want to try to, okay, remember, I'm an advocate for lost men. Remember, Blizzard Abroad said it. Okay, so what he said in that song he wrote for me, for the lost men searching in a world that's getting colder, for the everyday man who's been carrying boulders. Y'all miss that. That goes over y'all head. But I'm that advocate for lost men. So I try to tell you guys what's going on. Give you the little 411, the little information I got. Y'all don't want it from me. But that's why I do it. He said, hello, everyone. Well, we're to blame, Q. We're to blame. Okay? I asked the question, really, is it a cult, really? Is what I was initially going to name the video, but I said, no, I better not put that up there. I better put that in my title. I was going to ask the question, are we in a cult in the Philippines? But I said, no, let me make it where, you know, the subject matter I'm going to talk about, I'll put that as the title. You know, why men continue to give away everything in the Philippines? Because we're in a cult. We're responsible. If you go back during the lockdown and watch them videos, even now, it's getting bigger. It's not getting smaller. This thing over here is gaining steam. It's not lessening. You guys are just in denial. What's up, Thomas? If you just look real close and you see the similarities of what's going on. Cult members love bomb you and make all those promises to draw you in. It's what they do to us over here. All that overwhelming affection. Blowjobs on the first night you get off the damn plane. Come on, man. And then, Rashard, here's Rashard right here. He said something yesterday on a members only live stream. I'm going to make a video about it. He was saying, Coach Greg Adams, right? He's an advocate for lost men too. He said that a lot of us men are one blowjob away from losing everything. And he doesn't even realize how right he is. And certainly about what's going on over in the Philippines. But I'm going to talk about that. Because that's part of the love bombing. We don't even give it a chance. Okay, I was watching, remember that girl, what's her name? The original, what's her name? The young lady that's helping foreigners. What's her name? That helps them. She finds them, they're homeless and everything on the street. Remember, she went through it with her boyfriend. Now she's got her own channel. Well, anyway, she's helping this British guy. And he ended up losing 7 million pesos to the Philippines. Okay, we don't even give ourselves a chance to get to know the women because we're in a cult, man. We put her on a pedestal. We're worshiping her. This guy spent $2 million on a wedding over here. But the point is, we don't even give ourselves time to get to know the woman, to get to know whether she really likes us or not. Are you really like her or not? Because once she changes your all, you're getting the wrong signal. You're thinking, this woman really loves me. So you start getting married. You start building the house and buying a lot within just record time. There is no long game anymore. You need to start playing the long game over here. What do you got to lose? You're retired. She's not. Come over here and set yourself up. Live your best life. And if it turns into something, remember, Filipinos are looking for a spark. Well, let them look for a spark when they meet you. We're looking for a 5-alarm fire. That's what you should be looking for. Not no damn spark. If they want to look for a spark, let them. But I'm almost through here. The last one I'm going to talk about, then we're going to get to what we're going to talk about today. The financial manipulation. Okay, the financial demands is placed on you in these cults, because that's all these cults is about. Money. Okay? Don't tell me MAGA ain't no goddamn cult when all that fool is about is money. And you sending all this money, selling gold shoes. He wants a $250 bill. All this, what else he's selling that you fools is buying? Meme coins. Every damn thing. It's the same shit over here. You pressured to give large sums of money to prove your undying devotion, your unwavering loyalty and commitment. And we fought for it, hook, line, and sinker. Turn over all your property. This guy sent $250,000 of his hard-earned money that he worked 40 or 50 years for over the road driving a truck to a single mother who was working over in Saudi Arabia to earn a living to take care of her family. He bought out the contract so she could come home. And you'll tell me that me and I that damn stupid? No, we bought into this cult before you even get over here. It's Filipino worship. She's the answer. and she ends up being the problem. Not everybody that comes over here is in a cult, but there's a cult following going on over here. Take it or leave it, man. I be trying to wake you guys up. I've been debriefed. This is a debriefing. It's what I'm doing for y'all. Okay? You can come over here, man. Most of us miss out on what makes the Philippines great over here because you got your nose stuck up in some woman's ass. You miss out on everything over here because you chasing some woman who's not going anywhere. Y'all crazy. But then somebody tries to say, hey, man, something deep was going on over here. I hope Greg Williams is on here, but I think he's vacationing in Thailand right now. He'll tell you I'm not lying. His daughter saw it 5 years ago. She said, y'all in a cult. Now, we laughed it off, of course. But okay, that's enough of that. It gives you something to think about. But shout out to Greg Adams, Coach Greg Adams. He's an advocate for lost men. He said, some of you guys are one blowjob away from losing everything. Are giving everything away. What did he say, Rayshard? Because he's on the money. They call it changing your oil over here. Hey, thank you, Mike, for that super sticker. Y'all know this is our resident health insurance agent, Michael Onstad. I always put his information at the top in my comments. If you got any questions, see, this is what I'm talking about. We try to come over here and do everything on our own. I got this. I don't need any help. He can help you with your questions and your concerns about healthcare. Okay? Remember, one of the things I'm going to talk about today. But yeah, my next video, that's what it's going to be called. You're one blowjob away from losing it all. Okay? And they know it. Okay? They're ready to change that damn oil. Yeah, let's make the Philippines great again. That's what the cult is. I'm going to get hats made like that. And that's going to help fund my giveaways. Let's make the Philippines great again. That's the cult we're in. Pega. We're not mega, we're Pega. But let's talk about this. Yeah, gold phones. I forgot about this. This is all cults are about is money. But y'all in denial. From the time you get here, guys, listen to this. And this is it I'm going to say about the cult stuff. From the time you arrive in the Philippines to the time you leave, I don't care if you're here 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, or the rest of your life, you spending. It's about money. Okay? All right? We just, thank you, brother. We just trying to talk about something to get people to thinking. Know what you walking into, man. It's deeper than what you think. Watch Rafi Tufo. Watch a few of them episodes and tell me that men are this damn stupid. Well, if they're that stupid, how did they get all that money to begin with? How did they put themselves in a position like that to begin with to get all of that wealth, to accumulate all that wealth and everything? What, were they lucky? No. These guys are sharp. They in their right mind, but now they're part of a cult. It's like you got cult members. Their families watch them like, well, damn, and they give away everything. He said, congrats, T. Mars. It's 4 years is a big deal. And I'm just over 2 going on 3 years. Yeah, October. Once you be over here for some years and you want to be out of the cult, because remember when you leave the cult, guys, Ex-cult members and former cult members are always attacked by the cult members. So when you get out of here and you start telling the truth, they're coming for you. But let's talk about the 5 essential things for a better life abroad. We try to do everything by ourselves. The things we're going to talk about today, they're very low cost, affordable, but they come with major benefits, guys. It increases your chances of success over here. I said 50%. It's really more than that. But most of us don't have any of these. Well, we got one of these 5 because we think that the woman is the answer to all our problems. This is the cult mentality. She's not. She ends up being the problem. Look at this guy, the guy that lost $7 million. I don't even think they were married. This woman this was a single mother too, that he gave all his money to. Started businesses with, taking financial advice from broke women and all this stuff. Buying land and all this kind of, doing everything that a cult member would do. How did you get all that money to begin with, sir? You're not stupid. And then, of course, here she is. This is what makes you mad. She's in the, when they're in the, what do they call that? They're sitting in front of the barangay, trying to come up with an agreement. He's like, because he said, well, how much money did you have before you met me? You didn't have 1 peso, lady, before you met me, right? Now you got all these millions. All he wanted was 500,000. I think they ended up giving him 300,000 back or something. But anyway, she's sitting there like, well, I didn't tell you to do anything. They're acting like they're just totally different now. He said, American guys are so desperate for love that we're making the same mistakes all over. DR, Colombia, Thailand, you're right. The guys are blind fools. But even though you're right about the DR, Colombia, Thailand, Brazil, and all these places, Philippines on a whole other level, dude. I promise you, man. Unless you are following the DRs just specifically, because we get people from all over. You never even want to come to the Philippines, but you part of this Filipino show, but you can't name 5 vloggers in the DR. Okay, there's hundreds of vloggers over here. Yeah, he said he at that what do you call that where he's sitting down. He said that he spent $7 million and he broke it down. He said I spent $2 million on my wedding. $2 million on your wedding? What's wrong with you? He says the most I spent on my wedding was the documents to actually have the wedding. No need to spend thousands on a wedding when a woman is coming from the slums. Well, he spent $2 million, he said. He's sitting there in front of the people. But the thing is, we think that this is a cop-out. Okay, just so we could go on to the next story when we say that men are just stupid and gullible and ignorant. No, they're not. How did he get that money to begin with? To give it all away. You showing some type of financial discipline and everything before you come here. Every time I think about the guy, he sold everything. He sold all his land and everything. Remember, his family was trying to stop him from doing it. His daughter said, Daddy, don't sell your land. When you're part of a cult, man, you ain't listening to that. You want that new life they promising you. I'm going to get rejuvenated. The answer's here. Man sold all his land that's been in the family for years, decades. All the money that he accumulated driving over the road. And sent this woman $250,000. $250,000. 12.5 million pesos at that time. Only for her to blow it. He said, a blowjob away, in the words of Mike Epps. I'm trying to see what that be like. That blowjob must be far. Well, hell, he's talking about the mindset of these guys. You know, if you lonely and desperate, then do some things that make you less lonely and less desperate before you get involved with what's going on over here. Hey, what's up, Eric Powell? Thanks for that super chat. He said, long live Cal, LOL. You know, I be sharing my experience, man. I got an opinion, guys. I got a perspective. And people want to shut you up. They act like you don't have an opinion or something. I don't get it. But okay, let's go to the first one. A competent lawyer. A competent lawyer in the Philippines, man. Knowledgeable, thorough, professional. You could get a consultation for about $75. Just say $100. Get all your questions answered that you want to talk about. I mean, that you're worried about in that hour or whatever it is. Try doing that in America. When I went to court to get custody of my kids in 2013, don't you know I had to give him an $1,800 retainer fee before he would even see me? This is 2013. Imagine what his fee is now. But over here, you can get a competent lawyer, an expert in his field to answer your questions. We trying to get the answers from vloggers and other expats. Why do y'all think I always say on my live streams and in my videos, I'm not going to practice law in the Philippines without a license? I'm not a lawyer. You can come over here and get a competent lawyer. Man, the lawyer I got, man, was so good. It cost me 10,000 pesos. At that time, it was $200. I had to remind myself how cheap that was. He was so good that he shut it down. It's over with. The minute that he started fighting for me, it's like, leave this man alone. He's been over here for all these years. He don't even have so much as a jaywalking ticket. He's helping thousands and thousands of families over here. He shut them down. Okay? Period. I should have had him before. But you guys aren't going to do it. But I'm going to put it out there anyway because maybe somebody's listening. You coming all the way 8,000 miles, putting it all on the back of some woman who can't even help herself. Make that make sense to me. Okay? But keep on doing it. Yeah, bag up. We're going to make the Philippines great again. He said the watch said rump. Yeah. Now, they're not all from the slums, but the ones we deal with, come on now, Chubb Sounds, here you go. We can't even help each other. He said, I just arrived back in New York. I didn't realize you had a meet and greet. I was getting my oil change. Yeah. They're going to catch up next time. Yeah, man, it was some great guys that showed up. That guy I was talking about in my video today, Craig Fine, he's a financial advisor. When he gave me that card, something just hit me like, well, damn, man. What if I'd have known this guy years ago? But it's another thing, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So a competent lawyer, a competent doctor, guys. You can go see a doctor here, and you can ask Michael Onstadt, if you don't believe me, for about $10 or $15 here. A competent doctor. They give you the once over, the blood work and all of that. And the more you see a doctor, that's why they want you to see them every 3 months. They can see down the line. They can see down the road. Hey, something ain't looking right here, Cal. But you ain't going to do it. We're operating on luck, guys. 99% of us, 1% of the guys that I'm talking to got all these 5 things. The rest of us, it's better to be lucky than good because you're unprepared. You have no strategy. We're very fortunate that something catastrophic hasn't happened to us. Or some unfortunate situation. It's all luck, but pretty soon luck runs out. Yeah, he never has. This is facts right here. But they think that men are just being stupid. They'll never run out. That's why they need people like you, Richie Rich. They need people like Greg Adams and all these other advocates for lost men. I mean, the minute you get off the plane, some of you already in the car before you even get here. I just can't imagine. This guy was. Listen to this, guys. I'm gonna go to the next one. I'm gonna start talking more about the doctor. But he's 62 years old with $250,000. He can come to the Philippines, and that $250,000 would have lasted him for the rest of his life. And he could have had any woman he was interested in. The woman he got is a 3 on her best day. She's a 3 casket clean. She's a 3. Okay? But that money would have lasted him the rest of his life. Now she spent it all. It's all gone. All he's working with now is his Social Security. She said it's not enough. Because he said, hey, sell this shit. Let's get some of our money back. She's like, shit, I ain't selling nothing. Who's going to take care of me and my children when you die? And they're not married, and those aren't his children. You'll tell me he's that stupid? No. Something deep, something much deeper going on here, guys. Yeah, TKO. He said, hey, Cal, did your experience at the bank precipitate the cult analogy? No. That's not what gave me the idea. I was looking up MAGA, really, and I was just looking up MAGA at first, and then I was like, well, I put in the search characteristics of a cult. And then I put tendencies of a cult member, and then, I just start playing around with the questions and stuff. And it just hit me. I was like, I was a part of a cult. There's a cult going on over here. Filipino worship. It's cultic behavior. We're in a cult. We're worshiping these women over here. It's beyond an obsession, Golden Gate. But anyway, number 2 is get a competent doctor, guys. And thank me now. Men over here, they're not getting sick and being sick for a long time. Some of them are, but most of us over here, we're dropping dead because we're either not seeing a doctor or we see them too late. But it's too late to go see a doctor if you've got stage 4 lung cancer, a stage 4 colon cancer. It's too late. A lot of these guys that you seeing dying over here who've had some time left, they went to see the doctor too late. They drinking, smoking, and doing everything that they're grown enough to do, but they're not seeing the doctor. When you can go see a doctor with no insurance, guys, for $10 or $15. I'm talking about professional expert doctors over here. They got good doctors over here. Believe it or not. Everything I'm going to talk about is going to cost you little or nothing. Little or no money, but you don't even going to take the time to do it. All you're going to spend your time is with your nose stuck up in that woman's behind. She's the answer to all your problems. No, she's going to end up being the problem. Ask that guy, that British guy. They gave him $300,000. The Filipino gave him $300,000 out of the $7 million he spent. He was happy as a lark. They was like, go home, you fool. I'm going to stay over here in the Philippines. Ain't nothing left for me in the UK. Fool, how long do you think 300,000 pesos is going to last you over here? He needs to be debriefed. Go home and get debriefed. Because he's young. He's not old enough. This guy looks to be in his late 40s, maybe early 50s. That's all. Yeah, he said, oh, my house didn't even cost $2 million. He spent $2 million on his wedding. Of course, they're on the beach. He's got the tuxedo. She's got the dress. They'll tell him what they did. But you can't reach these guys. Try reaching one of these mega. Try reaching not just mega, but anybody that you know that's in a cult. Try to reach them. Good luck. Okay, number 3. A competent banker or financial advisor. The least that you should have is a bank account. See, even though I don't have a financial advisor, I can go in there and ask them questions about money and everything like that. But see, that's one thing that we certainly try to do. We try to manage our money on our own, and you see the results over here, guys. You see it. Imagine if you just had somebody that you could run stuff across, you know, say, hey, man, is this a good idea to send $250,000 to a woman over here who has no business experience, no finance experience, no nothing, and let her set up our life, our dream life before I get over there? He would have told you, you fool, don't even send $25. This is what you need. Somebody that can help you with that. You know, it's just a good thing that I'm doing, like with that competent lawyer. See, we're building these houses and lots over here. We're living with these women all these years without being married. Well, if you want to know about the common law, wife laws and all of that, there you go. Ask them. Don't do it and then need a lawyer when it's too late. But to at least have a bank account, man. Because a lot of you guys are your own banker. You don't have a bank account. You get your money sent over here through a Remitly, Western Union, man. You blowing through a lot of money, just remittance fees. They kicking your ass right now. Because I'm going to tell you something. It depends on how much money you send as to what exchange rate you're going to get. If you don't send 10,000 or more, you're not going to get a good rate, to be honest with you. They're going to get their money either on the front end or the back end. They're just going to charge you like Western Union $10 up front or whatever they do and give you a good rate. Or they're going to be like Remitly, give you $4.99, $3.99 in the front and get you on the exchange. But that shit adds up. If I just had, over 17 years I've been here, if I just had my remittance fees, I'd be sitting good over here. He says, just like certain vaccines, I think the U.S. Embassy needs to mandate mental evaluations before traveling abroad. Because it's absolutely madness to lose that much. Yeah. And I'm glad you brought this up, Q. This is a great point because y'all saw the fool over in Vietnam. See, we're going to fuck up Vietnam. Now, Vietnam, you know, because that's one of the trade-offs now, Vietnam. I want you to know that when you start getting popular, this is why I'm glad that the Philippines got them numbers. We got the crazy fools over here and only 5 million. So imagine if you stretch that up to 17 or 20 million, like Vietnam's got, how many fools you have running around here? But you see that Australian guy went off in the name and tore up that woman's restaurant. Somebody, man, he's lucky he's alive, man. He's lucky he's alive, man. If I was the owner, I'd have shot his ass. I'd be damn all my life work. You know that woman probably done worked forever to build that restaurant and stuff over there. They're not rich over there. And you just going to come over there and go out like that and now trying to use his family's getting involved. Oh, he's what do you call it? Manic depressive and schizophrenia. Well, he had enough sense to buy the ticket and go over there. Go watch that video, and if you ain't pissed off, man, you part of the problem. But they're going to mess up Vietnam. You see where that gang member got killed over there. Those people aren't used to that stuff like that over there, man. Australia again. Then the American guy goes up in the jewelry store and robs them with $31,000 worth of jewelry. His ass got caught. They're gonna tell on you in these foreign countries. You're not gonna get away with nothing. But they're gonna fuck Vietnam up, man. Pretty soon they're gonna get sick of us like Thailand is already done. But that's one of the consequences of having all this becoming a tourist trap. Over tourism. TJ told me, not TJ, somebody told me a long time ago. Kevin of KT, story of KT, he said, Cal, I'm gonna be honest with you. He said the infrastructure is not built for all them people going to Da Nang. And look at all the shit's going on in Da Nang now. He says because these dudes use a few $100s as a flex. They know most of these girls don't have that kind of money, and in the end, they get whipped and lose it all. Kind of like playing craps. Yeah, this is sort of what I said in the beginning. Like, we don't even give ourselves a chance to get to know the woman. To see if she likes us for real or not, or if you like her or not. Okay, yeah, they looking for a spark. Well, let them look for a spark. You looking for a 5-alarm fire. If they want to look for a spark, hell, I ain't looking for some damn spark. Lady, I done came 8,000 miles out. This is all I've got. That's why they call it your life savings. Took me my whole life to come up with this money. This is everything I got. I'm not going to piss it away in 2 weeks because you changed my damn oil. Crazy. But it's a cult. He said, just like Cal said, his girl and man both came to each of us and said they want to start a business. And my response, let me see a plan. I'm still waiting on it. As I say, yeah, we'll see later. See, I tried that one time. I tried the wholesale rice business, which is a good business here. I mean, my neighbor, he's a young guy. He couldn't be, it's hard to say when they're young. They look so young. This guy looks to be in his mid to late 20s. He's probably in his early 30s. This guy is a multi-millionaire over here. Selling rice only, right? Smart, man. Buying up all this land around here. Humble. I seen him in the bank, man. He had on flip-flops and, he works hard. Still got his work clothes on, but there's no telling how much he was putting in there. But anyway, Merlin, that's what Merlin wanted to do years ago before Sunshine showed us. And she ran it down to me. We didn't have a plan, though. We ran into an obstacle. Everybody wants credit. I'm pretty sure that young man gets credit, but not all of them. He doesn't get credit from me. You can't re-up. We give away all, because Marilyn, Marilyn knows a lot of people. Marilyn's a hustler. She'll go out and talk to people. She used to be part of that network marketing and stuff. She ain't afraid to sell. But she'll sell up all the rice, 99% of it on credit. So now it's like, well, what are we supposed to do? I'm not going to keep going in debt. We don't have no money coming back in to re-up. And then when it's time, like the 5th and the 20th, to get the money, half of the people who we gave credit to pay you. The other half, wait till the 20th. And then it just keeps going like that. He said, yeah, I'm in. When you get the hats, I'll get one. Yeah, let's make the Philippines great again. Absolutely. That's the cult we're in over here. I'm gonna go look at that today. He says, yeah, as a fellow driver, that's blood boiling to hear. Yeah, this guy was all, you guys, over the road truck drivers, man, you have all those lonely hours and stuff, right? By yourself, all this time to think. And he went through all that sacrifice. He's already caught up into let's make the Philippines great again cult. He's already in that. Okay? This is crazy, man, when I think about this. Let's make the Philippines great again. This is the cult we're in. I couldn't think of a name of it. Thanks, Frank. But that's it. He's already bought into a hook, line, and sinker. The family couldn't. His daughter, man, he told me, he said his daughter begged him. I believe he showed me a message on Facebook where the daughter was saying, "Daddy, please don't sell your land." Can't reach them people, man. We're just like the people in Jim Jones, following Jim Jones. Everything that they didn't give to him, they sold everything and followed him over there and committed mass suicide. Well, we're committing mass financial suicide. And it keeps happening. With all the information out here, guys, it shouldn't happen ever again. If you watch somebody give away 7 million, 12.5 million, just all the millions you see guys giving away, does that make you say, I'm not going to do that? If you still in your right state of mind? He said it takes about 10 years to earn $1 million here, but to save $1 million takes a lifetime. And a lifetime and a half to save it while working the average job and above average wage. Yeah, but hell, who's earning $100,000 a year over there? Not the guys that come over here. Some of them are. What's up, Cisco? Congratulations, man, on your monetization. Those silent live streams helped you, man. But remember, did you create a following, though? This is what earns you money on YouTube. You can meet the criteria. Then what? You got to have a core group of people that's going to watch your videos. They're going to punch on there. What's Calvin talking about today? That relate to you. But you did it in record time. But yeah, we're certainly rolling the dice, 53 Shades Darker. We're certainly rolling the dice. Okay, so we did the doctor, the banker. Now the next one is, because you hear people all the time, I don't want to be around foreigners. You need a good friend over here. You need somebody you can confide in. You can't really confide in these women because they can't keep a secret. If you tell her, it's like telling everybody. You need somebody you can confide in, somebody you can vent to. Okay, but make sure it's the right one. Don't be like me. I thought I had that man. And I'll be damn, his girlfriend got a hold of his phone and almost caused my whole situation to collapse. But you got to have that one person you can vent to, you can talk to, that understands where you're coming from. You know, I'm homesick, man. You know, he might say, yeah, just hang in there, man. Everybody goes through that. Or, you know, this relationship ain't working. Or just to talk about anything, you know. He might be a San Antonio Spurs fan, like you. And you can celebrate that together. But you need at least one foreigner, man, that you can. I'm talking about you got to be able to see him. I'm not talking about texting and all of that over the phone. I'm talking about that you can sit down face to face and be like, look, man, here's what's going on with me. Man, I promise you, man, a lot of you, this can't be your girlfriend, man, or your wife. And this is what people are trying to do. It can't be her. You know, I heard a vlogger say, I think it was H. Bachelor Cool. Yeah, it was. He said, I don't trust anybody. I don't trust other expats. I don't trust these women because you can't be trusted. My mother taught us that a long time ago. She said, when you hear somebody say that they can't trust anybody, it means you can't be trusted. But we're trusting people. When you're going up in these women with no protection and all that stuff, you trusting her. But I feel sorry for somebody who doesn't have anybody they can trust. What type of person is that? You need somebody that you can trust, man. Be like, look, man, if anything happens to me, this is who I think did it. You guys are crazy. He said, the only thing here is my doc is 3 hours away. Luckily, I can get blood work done in Escalante City and send it via WhatsApp email. Yeah, you can just have, I would get a doctor in Escalante. You know, like you said, somebody to do my blood work, because you don't even need a doctor here to do blood work. Maryland can take me right over here right now to San Carlos City Hospital and get lab work. You don't even need to make an appointment. You just go over there and get the lab work done. Crazy, right? It ain't gonna cost you hardly nothing. But we won't do it. Yeah, it's not a strategy. But this is, you know, if you're being honest and you watching this live stream, because I'm no pulling no punches, you know, this ain't no bullshit, man. I'm not making shit up. You guys know that you don't have this shit, man. You operating on luck. And sometimes it is better to be lucky than good. Because in our case, it better be. Because we have no strategy. We're unprepared. You think all I got to do is have, you know, decent health and residual income coming in. Mega bucks, and I'm going to be okay, man. You all the way on the other side of the planet, first of all. Second of all, you don't know the people, you don't know the country, you don't know the culture, you don't know nothing. You don't put it all on the back of a woman who can't even help herself. That's not a good plan. Are you following the followers? It's time to start following the leaders over here. People that you see who are doing what you want to do. It doesn't matter if you like them or not. That's the problem. We play this old personality politics stuff. Yeah, she was a 3, casket clean, on her best day. But by now, you got a wife, though, Q. You've already made the commitment. You know, you should have thought all of that out before you got married. He said, that's why I stopped building a house. Instead, we'll live in a kubo. I commit myself to the long game. You should have did that before you got married and had children. It's too late for all of that. You got skins in the game now. Now you got to use your mind, man. You got to use your thinking. Why make your wife and your son suffer? A daughter. He says, I knew a dude who came here. We had a few different meetups scheduled. He met a woman on the second day and I never saw him again. Yeah. This is what we do, Richie Rich. See, guys like you can bear witness to what I'm saying because you meet a lot of guys. We're not just hearing shit. We're actually seeing it play out in front of us. You're not going to hear them. You know, we put it all on the back of a woman who can't help herself. She's the answer. And she ends up being the problem. We don't give it enough time. If you just give it enough time, you're going to find out if she likes you for real and if you like her for real. That you're just not desperate. See, this is the problem. The man said you one blowjob away from losing everything. Because you think, oh, if she does that, she really must love me. I'm going all in. And then she swallows the grandkids and everything. You done. Okay? You ain't had it done like that in decades, probably. And then next thing you know, a year or two, it's over. You done lost everything. Now that man's over here living on the street. See, that's not me. I wasn't cut from that cloth. Nancy Curl Roach raised me. If I ain't got it, I'm going home. Okay? There's nothing wrong with that, guys. Go on home. Come up with another plan. Don't go broke over here. Don't be homeless over here. This is one of the worst places to be broke and homeless over here. Okay, just go on home. Back to the lab, that's what they used to say. He said, quiet as it's kept, some men want to see death sooner than later. That's why they don't go to the doctor or take care of themselves. Yeah, well, I know a lot of guys, man, for whatever reason, and I think it's because we don't have the patience. This is what I was told, that we don't want to sit in that doctor's office. We're afraid of what we're going to hear. And if I don't go to the doctor, I don't have cancer or whatever. I don't have high blood pressure. If he don't tell me I got it, I don't have it. He says, well, I don't live in a province, like visiting a province, but I could never live there. I need to be around quality doctors and hospitals. And that's a great point. But, you know, remember, we're so afraid of going to the doctor that you could have an apartment in the emergency room and you still wouldn't see the doctor. It still wouldn't help you. Because if you're living in Cebu, certainly in Manila, Metro Manila, man, you got to access to some great health care. Guys are dropping dead. They just won't go, man, for a lot of reasons. Yeah, man, you know, we have a lot of these on my channel, but nobody wants to hear about them like Without Limits. Because remember, one of the biggest misunderstandings or misconceptions is that it's easy over here. But they don't understand we're just lucky over here. I mean, as far as not having an emergency, I'm not talking about relationships. We don't get lucky, we get unlucky. That's one of the biggest misunderstandings, misconceptions. Oh, it's easy in the Philippines. We make it look so easy. So everybody starts, you know, they want the lucky business plan. He says, I got two neighbors in the mega cult, and they can't understand why they're struggling. Because they're in that cult, but, you know, we trying to help them, man. I don't have nothing against, you know. My thing is, it's not about policy. Because he hasn't done anything that he said he's going to do. None of his policies have worked. I thought that the cost of living was going to come down. Gas prices are going up. We're at war. You know, our young men and women are being killed in a foreign land. You know, we're working on behalf of a foreign country. Everything that he campaigned against, he's doing it. All the corruption, he's doing it in our face, man. That's a cult. And you still following him? They caught him on camera. I mean, on audio saying all I got to do is, I just walk up to women and grab them by the pussy. Yeah, you orange-faced bastard. You walk up and grab any of my daughters by the pussy. Okay, or my grandmother. Now he's coming after that Jean Curl lady that won that lawsuit against him. She's 83 years old. If that's the type of man you want to follow, then you go ahead and follow him. It's about decency, man. Give a fuck about his policies. Ain't none of them worked. A corrupt bastard. You following him because you're in a cult. He ain't done nothing he promised y'all he was going to do. That's what they do. They love bomb you. They make all those promises. We're going to get rid of all the immigrants. We're going to get rid of all the black and brown people. We're going to get rid of all of your competition. We're going to put you on top. And he ain't done shit for you. And they get mad when you tell them the truth. That's how you know it's a cult. Like, okay, if somebody says something to me about the Obama, I'll be like, okay, that's your thing. I'm not going to get mad about it. Because my mother told us a long time ago, no matter who the president is, you better have your shit together. And they don't have their shit together. They want somebody else to do it for them. Trump ain't going to do nothing for you. You know, all he's worried about is him and his family and his cronies. Okay? He ain't gonna do nothing for you guys. What's up, Marky Mark? But yeah, let's get to the last one. Remember number 4. This is very important. I know Marky Mark, I know I saw a video that you done. You had a couple of expats that lived in the Polar. I hope y'all just keep that going, man. You interviewed a couple of them. Y'all need to keep that going, man. That's for your sanity. But the last one is, you need a local, man. You need at least one local. Now, this can be your girlfriend or wife who's got your back, who's going to show you the ins and outs over here or wherever you are. It's going to show you the way of the culture, the way of the Philippines, the way things are done over here to guide you. You need that one. That can be your wife or your girlfriend. But she can't be them all, man. She can't be them all, and that's the mistake we're making. We're making it all about her. The emphasis is on the woman, the trust and everything. We're putting it all on her back, guys. She don't have any special powers. If she did, she wouldn't. She'd use them for her benefit, not yours. We think she's the answer to all of our problems, and she ends up being the problem. Ask any of these guys over here who've lost everything how it started out. Oh, she's everything I ever dreamed about. Okay? She's the best thing I ever had, the best thing that ever happened to me. And then you sitting there on Robbie Tufo. I forgot this young lady's name. I got to salute her, man, because she's helping these old pitiful ass foreigners going all out over these women over here. They ain't listening to people. Carrie is her name. Carrie Lane, is it? He's helping these guys. He got $300,000 back, and you'd have thought she gave him back his whole $7 million. The people in the comments like, dude, go home. And she said, oh, he decided he loves the Philippines so much, he's not going home. He's going to stay here. He said, I was lucky. I got a good one on my first visit, but she was my second Filipino relationship. She's more beautiful than any of those Filipinos or Asians, period. She's in love with me. Blessed. Yeah, we don't get lucky here. We get unlucky. You know, most of the guys end up with a good woman over here. But as I said before, when you choose wrong over here, man, you're going to lose everything. And you didn't come over here for that. It's easy to avoid that. It's easy to avoid that. Just take your time. We've eliminated the long game. She don't have to do that anymore. They're coming over here getting married in 2 weeks, filing for the visa in 2 weeks, sending money before they even get over here. There's a guy, I hope Confident Voice Speaks is on here. A friend of his is sending his Filipino girlfriend $3,000 US a month. He's traveling all over the Philippines. Already had a baby on him with a Filipino man. He's still sending the 180,000 pesos a month to this girl. I was like, well, damn, she must be a 20-piece. No. Packed full of makeup. Now, you'll tell me that, because he's got an excellent job. These guys aren't stupid, man. Something deep was going on. It's like $3,000 per month. Crazy, man. Wow. Imagine that, guys. Story after story after story. He said, hey, Cal, that's why I keep telling men to at least find a woman with a job who's self-sufficient. At least you know she doesn't need you. Well, you know, unless she's got a great job. The thing is, even if she doesn't have a job, at least know that she's really interested. Everybody should know coming in that there's a financial, you know, there's something financial, you know, in the beginning. It's, you know, but you can tell if a woman really into you, but not in the first week or two. And this is what we're doing. We're so lonely, we're so desperate that it messes with our frontal, the cerebral cortex. This shit is real. They studied our stupid asses and what lust and lonely or chronic loneliness does to men. But we don't even take the advice of the experts. When most of the guys get over here, they're not in the right state of mind. And you dealing with all that money that you worked 40 or 50 years to accumulate your whole life. That's why they call it life savings. And you give it away. Or you follow some stupid ass plan that she done come up with. I'm not blaming the women over here, man. You know, we got to do better. We lost, man. Blizzard LeBron said it. He said it in that song he sent me. He's got his hand on the pulse of these lost men over here in the world, man. That's getting colder. They don't give a damn you come over here and lose your life savings. They're going to laugh at you. They're going to say, I told you so. They're going to offer to give you a loan. Imagine that man was out of $7 million and she gave him back $300,000. And he's happy with that. He's lost, man. All the shit you done put up with your whole life. That's why he said, what did he say? For the everyday man who's been carrying boulders. The weight of the world's on your fucking shoulders, man. You work your whole damn life, you know, for the man. Only to come over here and give it all away? Come on, guys. I don't play on here, man. I don't be playing on here. It's too much at stake. It's too much at stake, man. He said, I know someone sending $1,200 a month, and she covers her face when they take pictures. I tried to tell him there's a reason for that. You can't get through to him, man. What's up, Ronan? Here's another advocate for lost men, right here. Right here. Richie Rich is an advocate for lost men. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. That's nothing, though. My buddy Jeffrey Taylor's on here. He's got a friend, bought a woman a truck over here. So tell how much that truck costs. And she's driving the truck and making a video showing him, you stupid fool, this is the truck you bought me. And she's living in a province somewhere. She don't even have any, look at this, guys. She don't even have any place to live. And he done went and spent, I guess, $2.5 million or something on a truck. And on top of what he's sending her I think he's sending some crazy money like that every month. 100,000, 150,000, something just diabolical that you would think there's something going on, man. How did you accumulate all that wealth to begin with? You couldn't be stupid. He said, my homeboy was talking so much trash about me and sending money. As soon as he spent 5 days in Colombia, guess what, Unc? Now he's sending money, yeah, to the very same working women he joked to me about. We don't think it's going to happen to us. See? That's the problem. Yeah, this is what he said. Among all the other stuff, see, when you're in a cult, no matter what cult you're in, no matter all the evidence that's put forward about your leader or about that person or thing that you've fallen so crazy about, they can do no wrong. He said, that's why his lazy butt said I could shoot a man in broad daylight on Fifth Avenue and my supporters would still vote for me. He knows they're a cult. Look at this Iran situation. Okay. Yeah. 40,000 for that truck and bought an inflatable pool. Come on, guys. I'm going to give it to you, man. The way I see it. It's too much at stake. Every one of my live streams I'm debriefing you guys. The Philippines is a great place to retire, man, but you can come over here and live your best life without losing all your money, without going crazy. And this is all I'm trying to do. This is all I'm trying to help men do. Slow roll it over here, man. Everything works slow over here. Nothing's in a hurry over here but your dumb ass. Nobody's in a hurry. All the things that make the Philippines great, you never even get to enjoy because you done gave away all your money. All you're doing is chasing around her. It's so much stuff to see over here, so much to do over here, and you don't even scratch the surface. First of all, you broke now because you done gave all your money away. That fool from Britain, he's on the, what was he selling when she ran up on him? He was selling he was cooking something. He done turned into a damn vendor. After having 7 million over here. He was rich over here. He said, hit the like button, guys. 155 in the chat. 79 likes is like bullshit. Hella lurkers or what? Yeah. He said, hearing so much about this sucker shit makes me inclined to cut off the live stream. No, keep it on because this is a debriefing. Kamal. But you probably already debriefed. But there's some guy who's not. I tell you that I was in a cult. I became a part of the cult during the COVID, during the lockdowns. Because if I was in a cult before then, see, I wouldn't have known it. I didn't know all this stuff was going on before. I've very seldom even seen any foreigners before I started my YouTube channel. Or anything. I certainly didn't know men were going crazy and doing the stuff that they were doing. But now we're having, like last year, 155 people on here. There's people who are in the cult watching this right now. I'm trying to get them out of that. They're trying to, eat up all the information about the Philippines they can and, go on these other live streams, 300 people, and go into these Filipinos. If you don't believe that there's a cult going on over here, go into these Filipino vloggers' comment section. I know what I'm talking about, man. I'm not playing on here. These guys are worshiping these women, man. It's a cult. It's a cult. There's no way a lot of these women, they're too young to give me any type of life information. The people you should listen to, you don't listen to. The people you should be supporting, you don't support because you're worshiping these women. They can speak, some of these women, they can't even speak English. We certainly can't speak Tagalog and Bisaya, but we're their audience. Okay? They're trying to reach us. And you guys, man, just some of the comment section is just retarded. I mean, it's just retarded, man, when I see it. So, yeah, I'm going to keep speaking my truth because I'm no longer in the cult. Okay? And that's why people attack me who are still in the cult. He said, Cal, I just did a show on what happens if you die overseas the other day. Yeah, how to prepare. It's been a couple of them out, yeah, but, we got to keep making these videos like that. But we don't prepare at all. You can get a lawyer over here. You can go and have a consultation with a competent lawyer, an expert, thorough, professional, for about $100. You're not going to do it. You're going to send the woman $100 for diapers and milk for the baby. Okay? Of course you don't think we're in a cult. Let me repeat this to you, Q. One sign that you may be in a cult is you don't know you're in one. You say, no, you're not thinking rationally when you give your life savings away to some woman you just met, basically. You don't know her. Okay? Now, I don't say only a few guys act on their rational thought. Bullshit. I wish that was the case. I wish you were right. See? That's a cop-out, man. He said cults like MAGA would still support even when Trump's in the wrong. It's the same way. We're not talking about one specific woman over here. We're talking about Filipinos, period. We're worshiping them. All the stories you hear are Filipinos in the wrong. All the horror stories you hear, it should make men pause. But they don't. They just keep running. They run the red light. Every time you hear about some man losing his life savings, giving it away, getting scammed, like the black dude who was sending all his money over here. It's another black dude, because it happens to all of us. They don't care about your color over here when it comes to money. He sent the woman his life savings. This is what he said on the news. So when he gets to Cebu, Lapu-Lapu at the airport, the woman's supposed to meet him there and they're supposed to ride off in the sunset together. She never showed up. The fool had a stroke. Whatever it was, he hyperventilated and collapsed. They had to rush him to the hospital. And the only thing that saved him, because they was interviewing him from the hospital bed. They had his face, you know how they put the little buzz on your face, right? Well, you see his arms is black. He's a brother. Only thing saved him, they got a great they got a great mayor over there. He sympathizes with fools like this. They know it's a cult. They've been watching this shit for decades. He helped a man get back home. We're sending our life savings to people we've never even met before. What kind of rational thinking is that? It's not no one man doing it. It's not a few men doing that. Your assignment, Q, is to watch Rafi Tufo for a week. And you tell me it's a few men doing that. Some women are doing 10 and 15 men at a time. One of those shows they got, this woman is a 2 on her best day, I promise you. She's flipping 15 men. She beat the American out of 3.5 million, and then the Canadian out of 6.5 million. And they were on Robbie Tufo together. Just them 10 million, and they said, yeah, well, she's done 15 other men like that. And I'm thinking, when they finally showed her face, I'm thinking, well, damn, she's going to be, 30 piece. Man, I wouldn't give her a peso to get out of my face. And this is what we're doing. Because we bought into all this stuff. See, if you go back and watch, man, look, guys, this is y'all Sam, if y'all think I'm playing. If you go back and watch the videos that were being made during the lockdowns, we were romanticizing the Philippines and the Filipina. This is when it all started. Okay, we were telling our stories, and y'all didn't have any thing to do. Y'all couldn't go anywhere, so y'all was listening to it. It wasn't we were misguiding you. I was telling you about my life up until that point. I couldn't give you no horror stories. I didn't know any. I didn't hear about women, telling their boyfriend, hey, you got to go somewhere else because I've got an American man coming here to stay with me. He can't know that I've got a Filipino boyfriend. I knew none of that stuff. But this is when it started. This is when the cult started, man. And it's been growing ever since. How many times have you heard people say, oh, I'm on my way to the Philippines, I'm never coming home. I'm selling everything. Q said it's only a few. Yeah, right. It's bullshit. He said they think when they spend that kind of money, they will have a Barbara Eden, a genie that will be at their beck and call, not knowing they're number 2, 3, or 4. Thank you. Merlin told me that. I was so naive. I would never intentionally mislead anybody. But I didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't even know, guys, that these women were chatting with 3 and 4 men because they reel you in like that. Yeah, go ahead and cancel your Filipino Cupid account. She's going to be me or you. Not realizing she got one on Cebuanas.com, Cherry Blossom, a Pinay Love. And your stupid ass, you done closed yours. And she's still chatting with men. He said, my question is, why would you send any money to a random woman across the world? Yeah, this is the $1,000,000 question. Daily dose of Drix. Okay. This is the crazy thing that happens. See, men aren't just discovering these Filipino dating sites. Okay. They're not just happenstance. They're not just coming upon them. They're being told about them. They're being romanticized. You know, they're giving them all these sugar-coated stories. Okay, they're being love bombed about the Philippines and the dating sites and the women and everything. Okay, so already, you're like, oh man, I got to get me a girlfriend like that. I want a Filipina. So you start after about, a week or so, maybe even less than that, you drawn in. Because you see the little young thing behind the camera and, a lot of you guys, not only are you a blowjob away, you're a peekaboo away from losing everything. The woman only got to touch you. Imagine this guy sent everything, $250,000 to the woman, having never touched her. Having never even smelled that cheap-ass perfume she was wearing. So yeah, it's insanity for sure. The experts say that lust and chronic loneliness interferes with your cerebral cortex, your reasoning, your rational thinking. So yeah, it's insanity. That's why they do it. My question is, why do they continue to do it? With all this information out here, with all these horror stories out here, that would be my question. Okay, why does it keep happening? He said to the lurkers, yeah. He said, you got a good one when you ask her to scam foreigners and she gets pissed off. Yeah, but imagine if you are a Filipino man over here and your woman comes to you and says, look, you ain't working. We got to pay the bills. So, Carl is coming over here. You're going to be over here for 2 weeks. You got to go stay with your sister. I'm going to entertain Carl, because my buddy, when me and my buddy Monroe Anderson was talking about this, he said, man, they must be giving a whole lot of money. I said, yeah. I said, foreigners, we pay a lot of money to be lied to. It's the best part-time job you could have, probably not only in the Philippines, but in the world. If you only knew how much money we were giving these women for just to be love bombed. It's they call it overwhelming affection. You know it. It's happened to you. And they love you. And then then next thing you know, it's a peekaboo here. It's all yours. I'm not chatting with anybody else. I canceled my membership on Filipino Cupid. I'm waiting for you, Johnny. And you done by that time. And then they go from being the boyfriend and girlfriend, now you're fiance. So that makes you even think, that you're more obligated. Oh, she's my fiance now. Yeah, peekaboo, man. It's just real. Yeah. See, and this is what guys are doing. But some guys are going, they're being even more shadier, Cisco. They're putting these women in front of the camera, talking to you. I'm talking about on YouTube. And they're writing all the scripts and stuff. Okay, they know how much money is out there. But guys, I don't know what it is, man. If you want to get paid, that's what you do. You find a woman, a Filipino woman. She's got to be Filipina, though. Because Only men go crazy over Filipinos. Nobody goes crazy over women like they do Filipinos. Yeah, it happens in Brazil, Colombia, and all these places, but not the way it happens over here. It's a cult, man. It's cultic behavior. Get you a Filipino, give us a script, man. Because I can't listen to them for 5 minutes. I know it's fake. And then their voices, and oh man, I'm like, why are these guys buying into this? I know now. It's not the Philippines. It's not the Philippines, man. But you hear what Chang said? When there's such little opportunities, good opportunities, some people do strange things like chasing money and taking chances. It has to do with the poverty and desperation. Okay? But that's a choice that they have to make because everybody doesn't do it. Every woman doesn't get on that dating site. Some of them are OFWs. Some of them work, over here. They work 2 jobs. He says, I don't know how Filipino men can handle it. Well, this is a matriarchal society. Man, women run everything over here, believe it or not. Remember, the Philippines has had 2 women presidents over here. Okay, if you go into the bank, it's going to be women running the bank. But anyway, he says, I wouldn't want anything to do with a woman after she's been with another man. That's how I feel, but you don't know what you would do if you're starving. And some old man, who probably can, bust her guts out once a day or once every 3 days, and he going to pay your bills and fill your damn stomach up. You have some money for some damn Red Horse and, Balut at night. They don't tell him what you going to do. Don't say what you wouldn't do. He said, I don't give a damn if he's a millionaire. I'm never renting my wife. He don't say what you'll never do, man. This is why I don't say stuff like that, because you're not in their shoes. Most guys have no idea what's going on over here. That's why they're scammed so easily. They think it's like they're at home. They think they're talking to women at home. Yeah, well, that's what they call it over here. Yeah, changes your oil. That's what they call it. I never heard it called that. I never heard a blowjob called changing your oil. My son's mother told me that. That's what they call it over here. Yeah, they exploit us. And they use a woman to do it. And what's she going to do? You know what I'm saying? When she can imagine, man, these girls is getting the bag, guys. Don't go by the views and all this other stuff. It's the stuff outside of YouTube, the PayPal, the Gcash. There's no telling, man. They driving new cars. They're traveling. I saw one popular vlog. I think it's for Beauty. I'm not knocking them. Okay. She's in Vietnam now. They're living a life they never even dreamed about on our backs. Because they're not giving you any information for real. Okay. Yeah, they're going to get the Red Horse and Balut and everything. Y'all just don't understand, man. You try to give it to you. I can only give it to you now because people are watching me this way, in a roundabout way. When I first started out, I was so naive because nobody was really watching. I was just giving you the real nitty gritty. But Shane gave it to you the other day. And that's why you can't, man, you got to take what these women are saying with a grain of salt, man, because they're gonna remain at the surface, guys. The women, look, guys, y'all don't understand. These women vloggers, all of them, P and all of them, they're the same women who are on the dating site. There's not one woman vlogger that you see that wasn't on that dating site. That's how they're so comfortable talking to you. Most Filipinos aren't comfortable talking to you, man. They're trying to get Maryland, you know, to get on the dating site. I mean, to get to be vlogging, man. It takes a special type of woman, but that softens them up. They've been on the dating site. They're not afraid of you. Most women, you try to approach them in public, man, first of all, they don't think their English is good enough. They're too bashful. So what makes you think they're giving you all this good information? It's always, every video you're going to see, what she likes, what she doesn't like, who she prefers, what you need to do to get a good woman over here, where to get a good woman, okay? It never tells you, what's really going on over here. Why is a 22-year-old interested in me? I'm 58. Shane told y'all. But y'all don't want that truth. He said, have you ever watched any of those can't afford to move back home videos? It's a hot topic for expat bloggers last week. Yeah, it's true to a lot of guys, but this is my buddy Don. He's from my hometown. I met him and his wife. He's got a good wife, They've been in it the long run, man. Most of us get good women. It's when you don't get the good women over here that you go through all the hell. And the only way is you got to ride through all that to get to where Don and his wife are, where me and Marilyn are, because they don't have a sign around their neck saying, I'm the good one. This is what confuses people. But at some point, Don, and anybody watching this, you got to be able to differentiate between entertainment and education. Okay? A lot of that shit is entertainment. That's why I tell, if you're a vlogger out there and you want to be a vlogger and you're just getting started out, don't make up shit, man. Don't make up these topics, or you're going to have a hard time. Just talk about your experience. Why you coming? And then once you get here, what you're going through while you're here, what you've been through. That's how you get a following. You don't get a following these followers. Not only that, but you get all these other videos done about, what no one tells you about dating. All the truth about the Philippines, nobody tells you. Like, dude, everything's out here about the Philippines. There ain't nothing more really other than your personal experience that you can say. Quit that foolishness. But these are these topics. And you run out of that shit. I mean, go on YouTube right now. How many what they don't tell you about dating. And the truth about dating. But another reason it's like that, because everybody's not at the same place. Some people just started blogging. Some people have been 6 months, 6 years, and everything in between. So a new vlogger, what he's going to do, he's going to come up with all this, basic stuff. Cost of living, dating, is it safe? I'm never going back home, and all that stuff. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is exactly it right here. I say this all the time. He says, a Filipino can teach me about their culture. See, what these women bloggers can do, they won't do. They want to talk about the same thing I'm talking about. Lady, I'm a foreigner. I don't know nothing. I don't even scratch the surface of knowing about the Philippines, the culture, the people. Why don't you do that for me? Stop telling me about dating. I know more about Filipino dating than you do. I was dating Filipinas before you even came on your period. But this is what you want to talk to me about. They're just following us, the followers. Whatever we talk about, I don't want to hear that from you. Okay? Because first of all, you're not going to tell me the truth. Tell me about your experience with dating. Don't tell me what Filipinas like. What do you like, lady? Oh, this is what Filipinas like. And well, what do you like? This is what they do. What do you do? Oh, the three holes the lady was talking about the other day. Do you participate in that? It'd be a lot more interesting, but it's true. He said, but I'm not interested in that advice on money or how to start a business. Imagine, I was watching, I think it was Maya. Remember, I'm not knocking these women because you got to understand where they're coming from. It's more power to them, but I'm thinking, she was like, how much do you need to live in the Philippines? Lady, you don't know. Y'all don't want that coming from you. You making the shit up. Okay? Can you live on $1,000 a month? You telling me that, lady? I don't want to hear that from you. I'm sorry. And this is where they mess up. They don't understand. If they just give it to you 100%, but it's not in them to do it. Remember, you're not going to jump in the deep end of the swimming pool if you can't swim. It goes against their culture and everything that they've been brought up to believe to really come out and tell you the truth. They're not going to do it. They're never going to do it. Can't put that in there. And I had to bring it up because, man, you're never going to hear of all them women vloggers out there, Filipino vloggers. You're never going to hear them say that. That's the truth. That's why the 22-year-old is laying next to you right now in your bed. That's why she's meeting you at the airport and all that. That's it in a nutshell. It's not all this other bullshit they be talking about. Okay? I'm sorry, I'm not going to sugarcoat the shit, man. Guys are losing their life savings over and all that because they don't want to hear the truth. Most of the women that we deal with, they're the breadwinners in the family. They speak the best English in the family. And I've never met a woman on the dating site that couldn't speak good enough English to carry on a conversation with me. It's never happened. But anything can happen now. Everybody's seeing the money that's being spent out here, and they was like, well, shit, I'm just going to have to go with what I've got. There's one lady, I want to say, the Filipina, not the Filipino wanderer, Filipina, she's from Toledo over there. When I first met her, man, she had just started, man. She was like, she could not put a sentence together, right? You see this woman now, man. Not only does her appearance improved, she looks like a totally different woman, man. Her language and everything, because she was in it to win it. I'm trying to think, well, her name's Filipino, not Filipino Wanderer, but she used to hang around with Filipino Wanderer, It's Wing. They all came to one of my meet and greets in Lapu-Lapu. But she practiced. She saw the money that was out there, and she getting it now. And you see the clothes she wearing now, because she was fairly attractive then, but now she got the makeup and everything on, her hair done. She's wearing the skirts. It's Filipina something. There's so many Filipino this, Filipino that, but y'all know who I'm talking about. Yeah, see, this is what I'm saying, but they can make videos like this, and the man behind her, because I was told there's a man behind her. He knows that they can get away with saying stuff like that, so they give them to them and let them spit that foolishness out there, feeding your loneliness and desperation, right? Drawing you in, love bombing you into the cult. And you say, I got to have this. This is what I want. So when you finally meet somebody on the dating site, you locked in. The money, sending money ain't no problem. But he said, do Filipinos love baby juice was the most diabolical words I heard. People need to have some decency. They don't care, man. They want the money. It's millions of dollars out there in this business, guys. Y'all don't understand how lucrative it is. If you take just the top 10 vloggers in this genre, this little piece of the Philippine cake of vloggers, if you take the top 10, which I'm not in, they're earning over $1 million a year just vlogging. Imagine what the money people are sending. It's millions. This is a multi-million-dollar industry and business. Put some respect on it. When people try to tell you about it, man, listen up when they try to help you. It's a multi-million-dollar business. I'm not even counting the dating sites and the millions they're earning. I'm just talking about this little group. Yeah, Filipina Elated. That's her name. Yeah, she's polished now. But thank you, Lawrence. Let me get this first. Mopar, thank you. He said, Cal, thanks for the information. Thanks for the super chat. He said, it has saved me a lot of money. I'm able to say no to these women. I have to be honest, in my weak moments, it's very difficult. Guys, it's easy to say no in the beginning. Okay, it's easy to say no to unreasonable requests. It's after you start having feelings for women and you start caring for women and you see their situation is when it's hard to say no. But it's easy to say no in the beginning. The woman asks you for the money and you just start chatting with her. Or she asks you for an iPro 17 Max. Or buy me a motorcycle or a car. It's easy to say no, guys. I always remember that. But yeah, this is who I'm talking about. This woman's sharp now. She's getting the bag now. Okay? This is the example of what he was talking about, where they have to practice their English. Who said that? 53 Shades Darker, Thomas. This woman did that. Because I ain't gonna lie, I'm sitting right next to her at my meet and greet, you know, because they just started out. This is about, what, 3 years ago, I think? And I couldn't understand anything she said. I mean, to say that I've got bad Bisaya, because she speaks Bisaya. She spoke bad English. It was broken up. You couldn't understand. Now, it's like, I couldn't believe it. When she finally broke through and I saw her channel, I couldn't believe it because she was doing, she was showing condominiums. The last one I saw of her, she was showing a condominium in Cebu, and I was like, wow, she's come a long way. She's really looking, you know, good to you guys because y'all don't see, she's attractive, but, you know, she's a typical Filipino over here because y'all not over here. Y'all don't see them every day like I do. So y'all's eyes are popping out of your head. You worshiping women like her. Yeah, that, he said, you know there's an expert behind D. And AI, you know, you can see where she's reading and all that stuff. And remember, I'm not knocking these women. I'm trying to show y'all what's going on over here and how men get sucked into this stuff because they're not just coming up on these videos. Oh, look at this. A beautiful woman, you know, I'm coming to the Philippines. No, this shit is orchestrated. Okay, all this stuff is orchestrated. And you saw she, you know, at least one thing I can say about her, she's not lying about her situation. She's showing you she's got a boyfriend or fiance or whatever. She shows him on some of her videos. You know, so going in, you know that she's taken already. But some of you guys are so crazy, you'll look at the man, because he's an older guy, you know, and everything. But aren't we all? And you think, oh, I can take her from him. Now leave that man alone. Leave that girl alone, man. You don't want her anyway now. And she done had him. But I can give that to her. She's not hiding. Some of these women, they've got men, guys, but you don't see them. They don't want you to know they've got a man. Filipina Lady's one of them. She ain't going to show you her man. She wants that money to keep coming in. She wants you to think you've got a chance. Yeah, I ain't going to knock her. She, you know, it's all about the money. Millions. Millions of dollars. Millions and millions of dollars over here. He said, just say no. Now, this is a Filipino. But it's hard to say no later on down the line. In the beginning, it's easy. Anybody can say no. Okay? But once she changes your oil, and she's looking good every day. That's the best thing I've ever had. You already drawn into the cult, man. You're not saying no. I'm sorry, guys. You're not saying no. That's why you get all these horror stories. We're not giving it enough time to get to know the woman. Okay, she just gives you a blowjob and you think, oh, this is the best thing that's ever happened to me. And now you turn over all your money, all your property. You don't even give it a chance to see, do I really like this woman? Or does she really like me? Because time will tell. See, they're not going to wait. If she's out for the foolishness, if she's with the foolishness, she's not going to waste a lot of time with you. Okay? Because she's wanting the money. She's wanting this one, that. She's going to the next one. But if she doesn't, if she's not in a hurry like that, if she allows you to get to know her and everything, then that's a sign that she's a good one. Well, in the beginning, you want to say no. Okay, in the beginning, because, you want to know, look, am I wasting my time? Oh, my baby's got diapers. I'm not the father, lady. Don't be asking me, okay, you need diapers. Oh, okay, well, tell the father. We just now start chatting this week. See, when they start asking you like that, it's like a no. Now you know, okay, you're going to see. But then remember, they're going to hit you with, because this is a cult, the shame, the guilt, and the fear. Well, I'm going to go to somebody else. Okay. That's what Richie Rich said. Most guys fall for the shit because they're afraid of losing the woman. Let her walk, man. I told my buddy today, okay, he's got the girl pregnant and she get ready to have the baby. And he says, she won't let me have no say-so and nothing with the baby. I said, well, call her bluff. Walk away. Because he said, he wanted to have some say-so in naming the baby. And she said it was okay, but now that he's over here, oh no. And she don't want him to have nothing to do with the baby. Just take care of it. I said, okay. You need to walk away from that, man. And, until she starts acting more reasonable. He said, beware of the long game. Bring me to the States. Help my family, etc. It starts out small, then it gradually goes up, and all they see is money. But see, Filipinos really don't play the long game. I think this is one thing we got wrong about them. Because we've shattered the long game. They see how fast these women are coming up over here. I mean, we've lost our minds because, we're part of this cult. Let's make the Philippines great again. They're giving up money so soon, man, before they even meet the woman. Do you think I'm lying that the man sent $250,000 over here to the woman before he ever met her before? Just from them talking back and forth and making plans? He sold all his land in America against his family's wishes. Well, I don't really know. I'm not going to call it a scam. It's all a scam. For real. Until you really get to know the women and know what they're about, it's all a scam. We're all being hustled. If you're meeting a woman on that dating site, you're being hustled. You just got to have some type of control. The same control that you've been exhibiting your whole life. Now all of a sudden over here, you come over here and you throw all that away. Okay, you already know when you first coming over here, it's all about the money. But okay, how far am I going to go though? Or how far am I going to let her go? He says she's obviously a scammer. Unfortunately, some desperate guys still fall for her gimmicks. But remember, it's not her because she can do all that stuff all she wants. I'm not going to give her a peso. It's the men. Okay, we're part of Filipino worship. She just knows they worship Filipinas. I'm going to use what I got to get what I want. Yeah, she getting big bread. Ain't no probably no telling who, uh, how and how much. And I'm not a pocket watcher. I'm not knocking them. I'm just saying that I'm looking out for your interest. I'm trying to debrief you. I'm trying to tell you that everything's not what it seems over here. What they say, you might get food if you come from out of town. You remember the rap song? And this is what's happening. Let it cool down, man, okay? Make sure she's who she says she is. Give it some time. You're retired. You got the money. You can come and go as you please. Why are you in a hurry? Somebody answer that for me. Why are you in such of a hurry? You got all the cards. You got a royal flush in your damn hand. You're going to win. All you got to do is take your time. That's all you got to do. If you don't rush, you're going to win. But we have no control. You smell the cream silk in her hair. She got the skinny jeans on, the short shorts, the 20 peso okay top. And then she utters those magic words. You can do whatever you want to me. Now you're done because of the loneliness and isolation and the desperation. And you're one blowjob away from giving it all away. I'm going to talk about it. Because this time, man, you guys, men are waking up, but not enough. Not enough. Too much going on. Too many men, But can you stop a cult? You can't. You can't. But who better to talk about a cult than an ex-cult member who's been on the inside? He said, what do guys be expecting when they send millions of pesos to a woman who had nothing? I'm just confused as to their thinking. Yet they're not thinking. This is what the young guy was saying earlier. What makes men send all that money to women that they've never met before? That's the $1 million question. But I know why, because they're drawn into that. My thing, Q, is why does it keep happening? He said majority of YouTube Pinay vloggers are foreigner clickbaiters. Yeah, be very careful. You know it. I mean, this guy knows it, guys. This is a Filipino man. If he can see it, you certainly can see it. But we don't want to see it. We're drinking the poison over here. But they can say whatever they want to me because I already know what's going on. I'm trying to get you here. They can say all them old gimmicks they want and wear all the short skirts they want. I'm not giving them a peso because I've awakened. I'm like, lady, I've been over here for 17 years. You're just a typical woman over here. I see women like you every day. 1,000 women like you every day. Yeah, they don't impress me. Not to make me lose my mind and blow up my retirement and my fourth quarter and everything I've worked my entire life for. Guys, wake up. You didn't work 40 or 50 years to come over here to give it away to some woman who's gonna waste it. You don't have to do that, man. The Philippines is a great place to retire. Y'all missing the whole everything about this place because you're chasing the women. The one thing that you least have to worry about is what you're worried about. You got too much emphasis on that. I'm telling you now. The money you guys is bringing over here, if you take your time, come over here, build the life that you want to build. Go to the places you want to be. Take your time. Man, you'll have any of them type of women you want because they're over here. They're looking for you. They're wanting to be a part of your life. But you're doing it the opposite. You have no reason to be Huh? Yeah. No, it's not brown out. Oh, okay. I thought we had a brown out. Let me make this clear right now. What's kept me over in the Philippines all these years, it hasn't been a woman. Because at some point, you realize that that's the least of your worries. It's this weather out here. You know, I'm welcome here. The people really are genuinely welcoming. I love the beach. Now that I done got hip to Metro Manila, man, it's just so much to do, so much to see here, guys. A woman's your least worry. You're making it your number one priority, man. That's where you fucking up. Because you don't know what you got. You don't know what you got. It's going to take a while for you to figure that out. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. You got to slow roll it, man. Look at him. He's got a good woman right here, Frank Tate. You're going to have a good woman if you don't have nothing else over here, if you take your time. That's the key word, though. The key words. Take your time. You're in too much of a hurry, man. You're going to get in trouble when you do that. He said most of these men are just giving away the money. They're not being scammed. They are just dumb. Yeah, I want to apologize. Yeah, they're not being scammed. I made a video about that. You're right. We're just giving the money away for no reason. He said, what's up, sucker? I mean, brother. Yeah, it's a lot of them, though, you know. And you can just see right through them if you've been debriefed. But if you're in that cult, you can't see it. All you're seeing is an attractive woman. You're like, oh, man, I really want somebody like that. And they feed you this stuff like they're single and, that, you know, that you got a chance at them and all, you know. You know, he says, another notorious Filipino vlogger, Double Trouble, talks with an attitude while begging for money. I told her that the ATM machine is broken. And she, cuz right away, you know, freaking hilarious. Well, like I said, I don't know these women personally. I see the same things y'all seen. But because I've been debriefed, my eyes are wide open. I can just cut on the video and be like, ah, that's okay. You know. But you can't knock them. It's not their fault. They're just being who they are. We're our own problem. We're the biggest problem we got over here. It's not the woman. He said the dating sites tell people not to send anyone money. Yeah, and they don't. How many times we done talked about that? That's the first thing that's on there in the fine print, but we're not reading the fine print. Yeah, this is, I've said this since I've been on here. Build the life you want first. We're putting the cart before the horse. Imagine you coming over here, you're 8,000 miles away, you don't know anybody, you don't know what to do, you don't know where to go, and then you're going to put a 100-pound backpack on, and you're going to try to go about your life, your business, with a 100-pound backpack on every single day. It's going to wear your ass out. It's going to wear you out. But that's exactly what we do. We drop that 100-pound backpack on the minute we get off the plane. And then you wonder, man, why am I so wore out? Why am I so exhausted? Why am I so frustrated? The next thing you know, you broke and she's got everything. When I saw the guy, the British guy sitting across from the woman on Rafi Tufo, they're in the barangay's office. She got everything now. He's begging her now to get back his money. This shit's got to stop, guys. I don't blame the woman. I blame him, though. He's asking her for his money back. He wants at least $500,000. She gave him $300,000. Hey, you can't make this stuff up, man. But the women, okay, here's what I'm saying. He says, okay, wait, because he makes a good point, but I got to say something about this. He's saying don't date a Filipino vlogger, right? He says if you Date a Filipino blogger here. Here's what he says. He says, if you date any Filipino blogger, you get what you deserve. Don't date a Filipino YouTuber, period. Red flag. But what you don't understand, Mopar, is the Filipino vloggers and the Filipinos on the dating site are the same women. The Filipino vloggers, they just got that gumption about themselves that they're going to take a step further. Instead of just giving one man, I'm going to get 100 men to send me money. Brother, that's what we're doing. This is what debriefing is. We don't want them to be sucked in like I was sucked in. He said, you only debrief because the dust is settled. But for many guys who haven't been to the Philippines, they're still fantasizing what it's really like. Yeah, it's still going to be just as great. Remember, let's make the Philippines great again. It's always been great. We mess it up, Q. You can come over here, live your best life without going crazy, without giving away all your money, man, and blowing up your fourth quarter. This is are your vacation. We're not saying don't come over here and enjoy this beautiful place, man. That's why I'm still here. The Philippines is what I say it is. But you can come over here and enjoy it without losing everything or giving it all away and have to go back home. That's all we're saying. We're saying we're trying to shake you awake. Like, okay, man, when you come over here, don't give all your money away. And slow down. Okay? This isn't a fantasy. This is real life over here. See, they're not in a fantasy, Q. When you're in a fantasy, you're at a disadvantage. So you remember I told you? We're the ones playing games. We're in a fantasy. They're dead serious about what's going on over here. So now, I'm trying to make their outcome better. Don't go crazy when you get over here. These women are the same. Thank you, Rich. I couldn't say it any better. This is to Q. He said we owe it to the people that follow us to at least put them up on the game so they don't make the same mistakes that some of us made. That's all I'm doing. I'm not trying to shatter somebody's fantasy or their good time or all that. Because I'm going to get blamed one way or the other, Q. If they don't listen and they give away all their money, Cal should have told us about that. Or you didn't tell us that, what's going on over here. Yeah, I am. Absolutely. Absolutely. But this is such a great question right here. This is such a great question. This is something you got to work out yourself. Because it's always going to be about your money. But as long as you're okay with it and things are working out the way you want them to work it out and you're not giving it all away and you're living your best life and and you couldn't have it any other way anywhere else. But yeah, you wish it was. But that's not part of it over here, Thomas. As much as I know that Maryland cares about me, okay, I didn't tell you I left my phone when we were going to Manila. We were getting dropped off by the taxi, which we never take a taxi. At the pier to catch the to-go, I left my phone in the car. I left my phone in the taxi, and he drove away. Everything's on my phone. I had like 15,000 in my Gcash. Imagine we're in Cebu. Okay, it's not Grab. And Maryland went into action, man. And Maryland went to their main, because she was asking the security there, let me see the CCTV. They said, no, you got to go to the main office, wherever that is, and there's no guarantee they're going to let you see it. Shit, she got in a taxi, went all the way over there, did whatever she wanted to do, saw that a CCTV of us getting out of that taxi, got his number, got his license plate, tracked him down. Took her 5 hours, man. Don't you know she didn't stop? until I got my phone. See, even though I know all that's there and Maryland cares about me and's got my back, man, it's still all about my money, man. It's still all about the better life and all of that stuff. I don't think it ever gets beyond that until she's got her own money and everything, which would be should be a goal of all of ours, is to try to get her in a position to have her own money. You know, Richie Rich said, get a woman with a job you can take care of herself, who's independent. But you know, that's saying a lot, man. That's saying a lot. But eventually, you know, you win them over, man. But it's always going to be about that. It's really a great question, man. Yeah, I wish, you know, I could have met her under different circumstances. But it's always going to be something. Even if you meet a woman in your home country, it's going to be something. Okay? Because, you know, it's her money too. You know, yeah, I got a real one, you know, because it's her best interest too. Man, if I was with a young girl, man, I'd have just lost my phone. They wouldn't have had no interest in finding that phone, man. But that's not the first time she's done that. She does stuff like that all the time. You know, she's proven herself to me, but it's still about that. And yeah, I wish I would have met her under different circumstances. But when you meet women in the Philippines, it's just not a part of that. Certainly when you meet them on the dating site, you know, that's a part of it. It's about the finances. He said, you got a real one. She wanted to make sure you had a way to wire those money transfers. No, she knows that's her money too. Okay? She's got my back. That's what I'm trying to say. Eventually, though, and this is what I'll say too, Cisco. This is a great point because I say it all the time. We're always talking about what the woman wants. Okay, we never talk about what we want. He says, change the word money in that sentence with pushy and picture a woman saying it. How many men have the answer to that question? Yeah, see, it's an unspoken agreement, guys. It's just how it is when you decide. And remember, Cisco, you met your woman in America. It's under different circumstances. Okay. Your woman's got a great job. You got money of her own. She really don't. That's not why she wants you. Now, but when you come over here and you meet a woman on the dating site, okay, she's wanting one thing and you're wanting something else. We don't even want the same things. This is what I'm saying. These are not normal relationships. It takes time, man. It takes years. Time that you probably got. You don't have to act in such of a hurry because you can't make up that time, is what I'm trying to say. You can't buy that time. You can't fill that time with money. You have to go through all that, whatever you got to go through. We're trying to buy our way out of that stuff. But she wants one thing and you want something else. We never talk about what we want. We always put the onus on the Filipino. Oh, what if she, don't you wish that she wanted you for something other than your money? Okay, so what do you want her for? And I'm pretty sure she's thinking, well, I wish she wanted me for something other than my pussy or sex. Because that's what they think. It just takes a while to work that out, and it's always going to be there. You just got to become comfortable with it. Like, okay, I'm all right with it, and she's met, my expectations. And this is, at least she's met my expectations. Okay. He says, how many of us right now that can say, if we went broke right now, I'm talking about $10 in the bank and lost everything, the woman we are with will stay. Yeah, okay, and let's, like Cisco said, let's change that around 53 Shades Darker, because this is true. Okay, how many of us can say, if the woman had her pussy sewn up? Because my auntie had, when I was little, before they had all these treatments and stuff like that, she had cancer. They sold up her pussy. They sold up her vagina. And her husband left her. Okay. How many of us can say that if the woman we're with had her pussy sold up, would we stay? Because it's a two-way street. Okay. See, what we're doing is we're trying to say, oh, I got a good one. Right? Well, but how good is she for real? How good are you? You know, we're trying to make it seem like, oh, I got the best woman over here. And she's just such a good woman. When that really shouldn't be the emphasis. Yeah, you want a woman that's gonna be there. You know, I'm just saying, I don't know what happens then. Would any woman stay, or would she go out? I mean, surely if you had a good woman, she's gonna say, hey, she's gonna encourage you and work with you to get back going again, to reach your potential again. Because I'm gonna tell you this right now, because this is a true question he's asking. If you don't have a woman that's encouraging you right now to be the best version of yourself, then you got the wrong woman. If you just got a woman that's sitting around that doesn't inspire you, that doesn't motivate you, you know, to be better, that you want to be a better man for her or whatever it is, you probably got the wrong one anyway. If she's just sitting around spending your money. But what would happen if the pussy got sold up? Would you stay with your woman 53 Shades Darker? Yeah, see, back then, they didn't have all the chemotherapy and all the treatments that they got now. You got to realize if she'd be, let's see, I'm 63, so hell yeah, she'd be down near 100 if she was still alive. But this was way back in the 60s. And I want to say she had ovarian cancer or something like that. And they sewed up her vagina. Yeah, and he was a pastor. His son's a pastor now, following in his footsteps, down in Harrisburg, Kentucky. Sewed up her vagina. Yeah, he left. He left her. So I'm asking you, Q, if your wife um, right now got sick and had to have her pussy sewn up, would you stay? But I think you can find out if you got a good woman without going broke. But it's if you're dealing with a woman in the Philippines, come on, guys, we got to be honest, man. It's the reason she's on a dating site. It's the reason Shane said it. I didn't say it. You know, I just, I don't know. It's just, I'm just cut from a different cloth. I got to tell the truth. I just got to be honest about it. He says, I would not leave my wife. Well, you know, that's why I don't like to speak hypothetically because um, you don't know what you would do. I mean, right now, you probably would stay. But would you stay when your virility was at its peak? You know, let's be all the way real. I mean, if you're not using the pussy right now to be anyway, why would you leave? But if you fucking every night and all of a sudden it gets plugged up or sold up, you ain't staying. Anything you would uh you step out. Yeah, that is quite a question. But, it's just like, Cisco reminded me. I always say that. We always put it on the woman while she's with us. But we never say why we're with her. Why do you do everything you have to do? Jump through hoops, turn flips, run around in circles to get over here to see a woman? Why are you going through all that? Sell everything. Okay, burn all the bridges and come over here. I already told you why we do it, but you got to be honest with yourself. Why do you do all that? When all she has to do is go about her life as she normally does. She doesn't do any of that stuff, guys. She just waits for you to get over here.
Dad, what's the password? Please, password.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Yeah, there. This is when you have to say, hey, what's really going on? When this woman does nothing. She's going about her life, going about her business as usual. You got to do everything. You got to spend all that money for that ticket. You got to make that brutal 20-hour flight and everything else that you have to do just to get over here to be with her. And the first thing we want to do is put it on the woman while she's with you. Why are you with her? He said it's more than one hole. I don't know. Let's be honest, man. Because if they sew that thing up, it's going to be problems everywhere else. Her breath's going to be funky because everything she ain't going to be able to, that, something's going to have to, the waste and everything that comes out of a vagina is going to have to go somewhere. A lot of it's going to stay up inside the system. A butthole is going to be funky. I don't think you're going to want to fool with any of them other holes. He said, damn, 53. And ain't nothing like that. He said, I'll stay, but I'll have another one. That's bullshit. He said, as long as the dentist doesn't wire our mouth shut, we can work through it. It ain't enough, man. Because something's going to happen when that vagina gets sewn up like that. Yeah, this is something, man, and this has been on my mind, but not what you're saying. But I'm gonna tell you. He says if you can't force your girlfriend into uncomfortable conversations, then she's still in control of your relationships. If she doesn't fear that you could leave for another woman, or another woman could take her place. Okay, I was walking yesterday behind a guy, and his shirt says, "If it doesn't challenge you, it's not going to change you." And sort of like this, they're too comfortable. We're too easy. They've got it too easy, really. And after a while, they'll take that for granted. You have to keep them on edge, because remember, we're in a highly controlled environment. They're going to henpeck you. They're going to pussy whip you. They're going to be all clingy and stuff like that. You got to keep them on edge. You just like he said, you got to do something or say something. And like Richie Rich said, not be afraid to walk away and lose her, to keep her honest. You know, you may not erase a message that some other woman sent you. You might leave it there for her to see it. Hey, what's going on? He said, "What's up, brother Sunshine? Who you going with in finals?" I don't follow sports like I used to. I can't even name you other than Wimby and the Harper guy. I don't know who else is on San Antonio's team. And this is no lie, other than uh what's the guy? Hell, I can't even name. I can see their face in my name, the Knicks. But I don't even know their names anymore, man. I ain't gonna lie, I don't follow sports anymore like I used to. Yeah, but that's not gonna happen, man. It's not gonna happen. Yeah, it's different though. Yeah, it's different. And you, like I said, you got a good woman, and a lot of us do. He said, when I was sick in the hospital, my wife would not leave my side. This is what happened though. This isn't hypothetical though, Frank. It happened, and little of it was there for you. See, that's why I don't like to have those type of hypothetical questions. I don't live hypothetically. I live in the real world, and you got a good woman. She's proven it. When you were in the hospital sick, she was there. So you're saying to yourself, I probably would do the same thing for my wife. It's just hard to say. But he brought up the question, would your woman stay with you if you were broke? And I'm thinking to myself, well, what woman, if she really was your woman, why would she allow you to go broke? I reached that point. Something's going on. If you conversating with her and say, hey, I'm losing my money, my investments are, you know, aren't doing so well, or, something's going on to make you lose your money. If you got a good woman, she's going to step in there. It's just hard to say. I just know that that's the reason she's with you. I can't say, if she's going to stay if you broke. But I know that's why she's there. I know that's why she's interested. Whoever you are on here, if you're dealing with a woman you met on the dating site, come on, guys, don't be, this is where you get lost in space. This is where the conversation gets off track because we think, oh, we're an exception. We're different. No, you're not different. Okay? It doesn't matter what I say. Chang said it. She said it's because of the poverty and desperation. But you don't have to rush. I said that. But that don't mean for you to rush, Q. Because, okay, if somebody else gets hurt, and guess what? You just get somebody else. There's 10,000. I used to say, what did I used to say? 1,000? No, it's 10,000 women who are willing, who can offer you what the woman you're with now can offer you. Okay? It is first come. I said it's first come, first serve because she's chatting with 3 or 4 different men. It's the man who gets her first. I'm not telling you that to rush. And don't misinterpret what I'm saying. I know what I'm saying. I know what I mean. I'm saying it's the first one who gets her is going to get her. It doesn't mean for you to rush. I just try to keep guys in the real world. A lot of us are out there, man. Like Q was talking about, we fantasizing. Man, you ain't got no time to be fantasizing over here. You're going to lose everything you got fantasizing over here. You better get serious like they serious. There ain't no damn games over here. You think it's a game. Yeah, I'm going to get out here and eat lunch too, man. I haven't even eaten breakfast yet. Yeah, there has to be. We're always wondering why the woman is with us. Well, why are you with the woman? We don't want to take responsibility. It's so cringy. You can't just come out and say it. That's why it's called the unspoken agreement. Okay, you got that. Okay, you understand what I'm saying. When I get over there, okay, I ain't got to tell you. Okay, you know what's going on. That's what's going on. You're not going to come right out and say, oh, I want a blowjob every morning. Every now and then I might want to hit it from the back. And, I'm certainly going to, push your legs over the top of your head and touch the wall. You're not going to say all of that. It's unspoken. And she's not going to say, well, you're going to send my daughters to the best universities in the Philippines. And, you're going to pay all the bills and you're going to take us to Boracay every month. And she's not going to say that. But this is something you've agreed to before you get over here because it's worked against guys. They didn't get that unspoken agreement. So then when they get over here, remember I told you about the brother. He's back over here now with an agreement. But he came over here. The woman shows up at the airport with her mother, and the mother was with them the whole 2 weeks. No action at all did he get. And then they ended up robbing him and taking all the food and everything that he bought at the Airbnb because he didn't get the agreement signed. But hey, guys, I'm ready to get out of here. Thank y'all for your super chat, super stickers, thumbs up, all your support, man. I really mean that. He said, Pinoy Hoops fans are 50-50 right on the finals. The Spurs, Wemby, Harper, Castle, and the Knicks, Brunson, Cat, Hart, especially JC. Yeah, see, Harper is his mother's Filipina. And so is JC. His mother's Filipina. But there's a video I want y'all to go watch because Derek Casanova sent me, he's not the only one that sent me a link where they're talking about how Filipinos should be so proud of Dylan Harper, right? And I told him, I said, well, they don't celebrate black excellence over here. Okay. Half black and half Filipinos, they can be superstars. And they don't recognize them over here. If you don't believe me, there's a video. It's called Why Filipinos Should Celebrate Black Excellence. And it was made 4 years ago. And it was by a young Filipino. And he was like, black Filipinos have given us the recognition that we've been looking for about a century, he said. But we don't acknowledge them because they're black. And he started naming all these famous black Filipinos. And this is what I sent him the link, Derek Casanova, the link, because I said, look, man, everybody's making that now. They're making that connection. They see that Dylan Harper's mother's a Filipino, but they're not going to embrace him over here. It's just how it is over here. It's just their culture over here. Imagine, I'll say this before I get over here. Remember becoming Filipino, he's a white Canadian. They gave him his own day over here. They made him a Filipino citizen. He's just a simple Filipino vlogger. He's not a superstar. But I want you to go and watch this video because the guy breaks it down a whole lot better than I can. Y'all think, oh, you're being racist, Cal. No, I'm not. I ran across this video about 4 years ago. But it's called Why Filipinos Should Celebrate Black Excellence. And he breaks it down. And he tells you, all these famous black, half Filipinos that aren't recognized over here, who are superstars around the world, who are bringing recognition to the Philippines like nobody else. But they don't even give them a second thought. Just like he says, especially JC. Well, don't you realize Dylan Harper's mother's a Filipino? Full-fledged Filipina. But take care, y'all. I'll see y'all next time.